So is Tesla a good buy at $270 per share? What's going on, guys? It's Ricky with Technical Solutions. Hope that you guys are all having an amazing weekend. This week, Tesla reported earnings, and from the time that it reported earnings, it was already going up as market sentiment was changing due to Trump announcing that he plans to go easy on China if they are open to negotiation, right? So the market, as we often see, gets ahead of itself. Nothing wrong with that, though. Markets always do that, so let's not act surprised. But markets have been pushing, and Tesla especially had an incredible week where, if I'm not mistaken, it pushed up over 28% in just 4 trading days. I want to talk about the good, and I also want to highlight my concerns. Let me make this very, very clear before some of you in the comment section that are invested in Tesla get offended. If you're invested in Tesla long term, this video is not to convince you otherwise. I love Tesla as a company. I think that, years from now, I hope that it continues to grow. But there are some concerns right now with the company that I want to share within this video, which is why, I'm just excited to see what ends up happening in the next few number of weeks. With that being said, again, this video is not to convince you to sell your position. Just because I'm choosing to do something doesn't mean that you need to agree. There's a lot of different ways on how to make money in this market. I wish you nothing but the best. I just think that, again, the more you inform yourself, the more prepared you can be. So at least if you're invested and then something bad does end up happening, at least you're not surprised. You're conditioned for it, right? You're able to tolerate it. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. Tesla had an incredible week. As most of the market began to recover from overall lows to current highs, markets pushed up 27, but pretty much almost 28%. 28% in 4 trading days. Now let's talk about the good news. Well, the Tesla stock pushed up 28%. That's about it when it comes down to the good news. And I'm not sugarcoating it, right? If we look at Tesla itself, when it reported earnings as it just recently reported. So right now, the PE ratio, last time I talked about Tesla, that's when Tesla was at 220, 230 per share. It was trading at a multiple of 108 to 109 times its earnings. Now it's 150 times its earnings. It just reported its Q1 2025 earning report. We live streamed it, and then later on we heard about the earnings call. The thing that I want you to understand is that Tesla reported terrible earnings. There's no reason to sugarcoat it. I hope those in the comments section don't make an excuse for it. It was absolutely terrible. When it came down to the earnings per share and the revenue, the earnings per share was missed by about 35 to 36%. It's a terrible miss, and revenue was missed by about 10%. We all expected Tesla to not report as expected, right? Or guidance was lowered. And that's one thing that people say, oh, it was priced in. It was priced in. No, it wasn't. Tesla lowered its expectation because of all the negative sentiment that was going towards Tesla. So I made it very clear of like, hey, we can't expect Tesla to be up year over year. It kind of like common sense, right? Because of all the negative sentiment, all the fear of possibly owning a Tesla, and if you were on edge of wanting to possibly buy a Tesla, I'm sure the past few months were very clear that, hey, if you were on edge, maybe I don't want to pull the trigger and buy a Tesla because I could get attacked. That was a genuine concern from a lot of people. Hopefully they get that thing all sorted out. I own 2 Teslas myself. They're one of my favorite vehicles to drive other than how quickly they depreciate. But nonetheless, very, very great cars. I love them, right? Just because I like Tesla or just because I like Elon doesn't mean that I have to bend the knee to everything it is that he does. We need to acknowledge in a very level-headed way what Tesla is doing. And Tesla reported terrible earnings per share. And the thing that I want to get into, and this is the part that I don't believe a lot of people understand, is that this is the part that bothers me, is that Elon Musk's Tesla quietly left out the $97 million in Bitcoin that they lost during the earnings report. You know why that bothers me? Is that the only reason last quarter that it ended in the green for one of its markers is because it reported the gain that it had from Bitcoin. So you're telling me that last quarter you didn't forget to report the gain, but now you forgot to report the loss, and now they had to update it. So now the market was already so bullish that now it doesn't really even impact the market. And this is the part that like a good company that is doing well doesn't need to do things like this. And you can come up with any excuse that you want on how or why to excuse it. But we all know why they did it, because if they actually reported that $97 million loss, it would have only further hurt Tesla in the way that it reported earnings. Its earnings per share would have been affected. Its revenue also would have been affected. It would have been even worse. And then again, it brings me back to the same point is, okay, so are we seeing some genuine concerns from Tesla? The first thing that I want to point out, Q1 of 2024 and Q1 of 2025, we are not seeing growth year over year. This is for one of the Magnificent Seven. I'm not comparing it to any other company that is just starting out. Tesla is an older company. It's been public for a very long time. It's been profitable for a few quarters. Tesla is not growing as a company. I don't care what it has planned for the future with its Robotaxi, its Optimus robot, its AI. None of that matters when its core business is not growing. And this is the part that where Tesla investors, in my opinion, get ahead of themselves. They excuse the very simple things when it comes down to investing. Now, again, if you're okay with investing with the volatility, be my guest. I plan to invest in Tesla as well. Because of these uncertainties, I think Tesla will go to sub $200 per share because fundamentally Tesla is not there. The amount of excuses or scapegoats that I've seen in the comment section, oh, well, Tesla is skyrocketing, right? Tesla's pushing up because Elon's coming back. The first thing that I want to make sure that we make very clear, Elon was supposed to come back. Elon was only supposed to be with Doge for 130 days. That was part of his agreement. He's not receiving any pay. That was part of the agreement. There's no surprise there. He was supposed to come back. So again, if the market just wants to, if Tesla just wants to rocket because their CEO is coming back, then sure, that I can see that. But for you to say that that wasn't priced in, yes, it was, because it's not that it was assumed, it's that it was planned. He was only supposed to be there for 130 days. That was made very clear. The second thing that I want to talk about is everyone talking about the full autonomy. This is one thing that I want to point out, is that Elon Musk is shutting down internal Tesla analysis that showed Robotaxi would actually lose money. And then again, it brings me back to the same thing. Why is Tesla doing very just weird things when trying to hide analysis of their company? If Tesla, every company, as they're investing into anything, as they're growing, yeah, there's going to be quirks, but why? Why try to hide it at that point? If you're doing so well overall, then why try to hide it? So according to a credible news report, Elon has reportedly shut down an internal analysis from Tesla executives that show the company's Robotaxi plan would actually lose money and that it should focus more on its affordable Model 2. So this sheds some light on why there's been more of a focus on these robo-taxis, right? So in early 2024, we reported that Musk has canceled the Tesla plan for new affordable vehicle built with its upcoming unboxed vehicle plan when it originally offered the Model 2 for $25,000. So instead, Tesla is now pushed for only its Robotaxi, also known as its Cybercab, to be built on the new platform and replace plans of the next generation EV, which again, this is a whole nother thing. It's pretty much going to be built in cheaper versions of the Model Y and Model 3 in fewer features. So now they want to cancel the plan of the cheapest option, which was supposed to be $25,000 for their Model 2. We'll see if that is actually true. And then just offer cheaper options for their Model Y and their Model 3, because it's stating that according to that analysis, it would have disclosed that the Model 2, which was the original whole plan of Tesla, to start off high with the Roadster, which they originally launched years ago, and to trickle down into different segments of the marketplace to eventually offering the most affordable vehicle at $25,000. But it seems like, based off of a recent analysis, that again, Tesla would not be profitable and it would actually lose money at that price point. So again, then why is it still being talked about? Why is it, again, this is just me, really digging into it and really trying to figure out an answer. Then we get into, again, like we said, the $97 million of Bitcoin that it should have reported as a loss. So Tesla concealed a $97 million loss from cryptocurrency holdings in its latest earnings report using accounting adjustments that boosted its non-GAAP earnings by roughly 12 cents. So this means that if they would have adjusted, their EPS would have been even worse. The electric vehicle maker reported adjusted earnings of about $900 million, more than twice of its official net income of $400 million, after excluding the crypto-related loss as a much larger expense tied to stock compensation. Insane. Very clever, but insane. Such practices fall under the watch of the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, which review unofficial earning figures to ensure companies are not presenting an overly optimistic picture to investors. So again, this is, I guess, later down the road. But again, it's the genuine concern of, so we have this company being ran by a very intelligent individual, right? Elon Musk, in my opinion, he's one of the greatest minds of our generation, but it just seems like things are falling apart for him. Year over year, the first thing that I want to point out and highlight, Tesla is not growing as a company. I don't want to hear any excuse. This is inexcusable for a Magnificent Seven company. It is not growing as a company in its core business. The second thing that I want to highlight, it's now doing very unique things to hide its actual earnings. And the third thing that I want to highlight is that now it's also trying to conceal specific areas of its business that it originally promised and then moving forward doesn't plan to actually release. And the reason I find this to be so interesting is I was one myself that has an allocation for a Tesla Roadster. That order was placed over 5 years ago, or 4.5 years ago. I put a deposit, and I think about 100 other thousand people put a deposit as well. This is for their $250,000 Tesla Roadster, and Tesla has yet to deliver or show any progress or updates on it. Tesla semi-trucks, I think the deposit for those were about $20,000. Where are those? Still nothing. How long will we continue to be dangled with a treat in front of us of the Optimus robot, because it's the future, their Robotaxi, their cheaper vehicles? How long will we allow Elon and Tesla to continue to dangle the treat in front of us of these promises that still years later are not actually being delivered? That's my very simple question to leave you with. If you believe, again, in Tesla and its future, I'm all for that, because to some degree I do too. But in the short term, especially with this trade war going on, even with these so-called, this is one of the last things that I want to show you guys, is that the real reason that the market's pushed up today wasn't because of any of these companies, right, and how they reported earnings. It's because Trump stated that he's going to go easy on China and that they're working on negotiating. But now China has come out and saying that, again, this is officially from one of the Chinese accounts, China and the US are not having any consultation or negotiation on tariffs. The US should stop creating confusion. The fact that the markets are not even reacting to this post just show how numb we are all to this volatility. Again, the markets are rising based off of hope when we are being shown that there is no progress in this negotiation, right? Now we have companies that are reporting earnings and showcasing promises that they're not actually delivering. Not in just a few quarters, not in just a few months, I'm talking years. So again, the very simple question is, well then, in how long will it take for Tesla to really figure things out, even with Elon coming back? That's the simple thing that I want to leave you with. With those concerns, a company that is not growing year over year, a company that just reported terrible earnings, a company that shows that there is fear and uncertainty in the way that it's being ran and its way to not able to deliver in the promises that they make, how long will you continue to excuse that lack of accountability? I do believe that in the short term, Tesla can pump just like anything, just like the market. It could pump based off of hope. It could pump because it viewed itself to be oversold. But we all know one thing is that fundamentals will always come back when things begin to settle. And fundamentally, Tesla is not doing well. And that's the last thing that I want to leave you guys with. So again, I wish you guys nothing but the best. I'm excited. I would love to invest in Tesla myself. But I think realistically, with the way that things are going and the short-term pain that I see coming for Tesla, I would love to invest in Tesla at maybe 150 to 170 per share. In my opinion, in the short term, I believe Tesla is overvalued. I think that there's a lot of internal changes that need to be made. And again, that's 100% just my opinion. If you think it's a really good deal right now, then you as an adult can buy and invest as much as you want, right? I'm not offended. I hope that you don't get offended by my opinion. And I hope that, again, I don't get offended by yours. This is a free market. I wish you guys nothing but the best to invest in companies that you see to be good value. But again, to also be aware of not just all of the good and everything that you're being fed, but to also take some time, do some digging, and look into the fundamentals of the potential downside. So again, I hope that earned a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing. I'd love to talk to you guys more about this during our live trading sessions. Whenever you want to tune on in, it's the second link in the description down below. Appreciate your time. Like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.